challenges this poor water quality has posed for these communities, and how finishing this important project will alleviate those challenges.
So the poor water quality directly relates to health issues in regard to folks actually have radioactivity in their drinking water, which obviously is of huge concern. In addition to the health issue that radionuclides, as well as other constituents, contribute to the health issues in southeastern Colorado, it's very, very difficult to create any kind of economic development when you have an extremely poor source of drinking water, and that source is very limited. So in a number of ways, the poor water quality has been the detriment and what has kept southeast Colorado from actually growing when you compare it to the rest of Colorado. Another issue with the poor water quality is the cost of treating it, as we are attempting to do today. And I'll give you an example. In the city of La Junta, they built an RO plant to take care of this drinking water issue so they could have safe drinking water. Well, now, with their recently constructed $20 million wastewater treatment plant, they still cannot meet the discharge standards. So what's absolutely necessary to solve our problem in southeast Colorado is a better source of water.
Yes, and would you agree that local communities could see the cost of their drinking water triple without this legislation being signed into law, and finishing this project will help 40 communities. They're including La Junta in the ABC project with a total of service population of approximately 50,000 people.
I would absolutely agree with that statement. It will triple the cost, and as I just mentioned in the La Junta case, I'm still not sure we would be able to meet the standard. There's just really no way with today's technology to meet the standard that's expected and to provide people safe, healthy drinking water.
Thank you. And Deputy Commissioner Sanchez, the cost estimate of the Arkansas Valley project nearly doubled from $640 million to $1.3 billion due to inflation and increased labor costs. Is this consistent with other water projects in the West?
Thank you, Congresswoman. So in part, yes, I would say that some of that increase was consistent to what we've seen with other civil works projects across the West. But I believe that Arkansas Valley Conduit Project is unique in some ways, that there hasn't been this level of a large-scale project in the Valley, in recent decades. So in some ways, we don't know what it's going to cost until we start digging and getting pipe in. So in some ways, there have been cost increases due to that. But we've also seen, as you mentioned earlier, ways that working together with Southeastern, working together with contractors to find ways to reduce those costs as well.
Yes, and Commissioner Sanchez, in your testimony, you stated that the groundwater in these communities is contaminated by the naturally occurring radioactive, and we've heard this a couple of times today, elements that exceed federal Safe Drinking Water Act standards. And so what danger does this pose to the 50,000 people in southeastern Colorado who rely on these sources for their drinking water? And I know President Long touched on this as well, but I'd like to hear your perspective on it.
Absolutely. I think it's on two levels. One, this is a direct human health risk for the folks that are living in these communities. This is stuff that is in no way safe to be drinking in the long term. And on the other hand, it threatens the economic livelihood. Being able to allow the Arkansas Valley community is a fantastic string of folks, from Pueblo all the way to the state line, and to really unleash the potential they have there. And water is really holding them back.
Yes. Well, water is certainly an issue throughout the state and throughout the West. So now, President Long, in my last few seconds, would you mind just elaborating on the collaboration between Southeastern Colorado Water Conservancy District and the Bureau of Reclamation on this important project with ABC?
So for the past 20 years, we've worked hand in hand with the Bureau and very much appreciate their interest in the project and support. Without them, it would be impossible.
Wonderful. Well, I appreciate you both for being here, and thank you to our other witnesses as well for being here today. Mr. Chairman, I yield.